What is going on, buddy? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to episode number 24 of the F122 Road to GOAT Driver Career Mode series for the Canadian Grand Prix, reaching the halfway stage of season 2. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check one out before you see this one. There'll be a link in the top right hand corner of your screen now. And the weather a little bit nicer than it was last time out, so make sure to check that last race out before you see this one, because it was absolutely brilliant fun. In terms of today's race, in the Canadian Grand Prix at the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve starting from P9 on the grid. Of course, I'm looking to try and beat those Ferraris today if we can, but quite a lofty task. Carlos Sainz to lead the Drivers' Championship, chased by Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris in third place. There we are, starting in P9. We get a nice look at our rear wing there before moving over to the driver's side cam there. So, game doing its usual thing with the camera angles. And Lance Stroll, a home favourite here, starting from the back of the grid. So we'll see what we can do up the order if we can move up over the course of the race itself. So in terms of strategy for this one, we're looking at our usual one-stop, going from mediums onto hard tyres. I see a few cars on the grid going for soft tyres potentially, so we could be seeing some two-stops in the order. Whether that impact us, I don't know. We'll pit a lap later than anticipated, or a lap earlier than the team expects us to. So we're on the grid, looking forward to watching the start of what should be an absolutely thrilling Grand Prix. Make sure, of course, to subscribe to not miss any future Road to GOAT episodes. We'll get through the rest of this season as soon as we can. We're reaching the halfway stage now. We've got 8 more episodes lined up for you to come out, so make sure you come and subscribe to enjoy those. We've got down to 5 red lights for the Canadian Grand Prix, round number 8 of the championship. And it's lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. Decent getaway compared to Ocon on the right-hand side here. Just want to move over to the left, going towards turn number 1. Going to defend the inside, going to that first corner. Ricardo Verstappen there in front of us, going over the curbs a bit at turn 1, going 3 wide, the Australian and the Dutchman through turn 2. We've got a warning for a collision with Ricardo, so not good start early on. Around the outside of Ricardo, trying to take Verstappen now as well, going into turn number 4, into the chicane. Ricardo gets a jump on us, moves in the last possible second, slides back through and reclaims P8, so we've lost or gained nothing on the start here. We're trying to make a move on Ricardo if we can. Not enough space to go to the inside in that first chicane, but a decent start turned into nothing, unfortunately. Ocon's still behind us. He's one of those cars running on soft tyres, so we have to give us a bit of a challenge to keep him behind here. But all in all, a decent start. This Grand Prix continue on here into the rest of the second section and start the third one. Of course, that third section we're making a lot of our passes today, so have to look out to see what we can do going down towards the next hairpin. Are we too far back to go for a move from Ricardo? No, we're going to try and go as late as we can, all the way to the inside. Ricardo breaks super early because of the Red Bull in front of him. Then move to his inside. He leaves the open door wide open for us to slide back through and reclaim P8 here. And Verstappen now being our next target. The 2 Red Bulls there in front of us. Got a lot of work to do with catch Ferrari in this Grand Prix, they do. On to number 3 now, DRS deployed for the first time. We're going to use it to try and take Verstappen going into the last corner where Wall of Champions is waiting for us. Going to try not to hit it. Gone over the curbs there, a bit too much, a poor exit. We could try and get Verstappen back with the DRS though. Norris sets the fastest lap of this race, pushing Verstappen number 4 now. Going to try and get close until the inside if we can. There we go, very late on the brakes, so a bit too deep on the exit of the corner, but we managed to keep it in front of the Dutchman there. And there goes Ocon, our teammate, looking to try and make something happen underneath as well. We can stay in line for the time being. As I said, Ocon on those soft tyres, can just try and make something happen here this early on the Grand Prix. Move up some places with us. So as he follows us towards now the end of lap number 4, Verstappen on the chase once again. Now he's going to try and take P7 away from us. So a bit too deep again, over the curbs, way too much. A poor exit than we got last time. And Verstappen has the DRS to try and fight his way past us. There he goes on the left-hand side, getting the move done before we even reach turn 1, before we even cross the line there. So Verstappen into that first corner, into P7 once again. And try and take him on the outside if we can. If we can get a good enough traction on the exit, but no chance the Dutchman stays in front. It might have to be a move down going towards this next chicane. It might be that little bit too risky. He's go towards the corner. Verstappen gets a very poor entry. He's going to go around the outside of it on the exit. He's left us that little bit of space to try and sneak through. And then we go down the inside for the right hander and going towards the next left. We're going to pull in front of Verstappen. Ocon's going to have a go at him as well. So this could be a double whammy with both the Alpine cars looking to squeeze past the Red Bull here. One of them's through. Let's see if we can get the other one through as well. Ocon's still side by side with Verstappen as we charge towards that next right hander. We're pulling away to a decent gap here already over these two, and those two going to the corner side by side will make it worse for them. But Ocon goes around the outside and gets in front of Verstappen, so it's a double whammy for the Alpine cars who have managed to sidle up in front of that Red Bull. And now he starts to chase down Sergio Perez if he can. On to lap number 9 of this Grand Prix. Perez about 3 seconds up the road from us. Poor exit from the last corner. Let's go allow Verstappen to close back in. We've got a retirement already. Lance Stroll, the Canadian hero, out of the session in his home Grand Prix. Very unfortunate stuff for the Aston Martin driver. Becomes our first casualty of this Grand Prix, and there is that telltale puff of smoke that tells you all you need to know, and that Lance Stroll is out of the race, unfortunately. Because last season it was our teammate Alexander Albon who retired from this race, my memory serves me correctly, and this time it's Stroll's turn to pay that price and become our first and hopefully only retirement in this race. On to lap 14 now. Verstappen's making a chase here, going towards the right hand side, towards turn number 1, over the line. Verstappen gets him in front of us with the DRS. Good stuff from him there. He managed to get around us so easily with the power of that Red Bull compared to our Alpine. Let's try and get back here as soon as we can. On to lap number 15 now. This time it's our turn to have the DRS down this main straight. Good exit is all we need to try and get in front. Russell into the pit lane here. We're reaching that point in the race where the pit stops going to start being made as our pit window opens here at the start lap number 16. We're ducked inside Verstappen, and again it's a sense of deja vu there, making the move. We're going a bit too deep in the exit of turn 1 that allows us to just about cover him off. So it's a decent move there. We've managed to keep it in front of Verstappen for the time being, but I dare say he won't give us any peace at all as we go through the chicane there. Verstappen hounding us like a hungry dog. So the remainder of the lap here, as we come towards the DRS straight, going towards that final corner. We're coming into pits this time, so we can't focus too much on what Verstappen's doing, but I'd still like to try and defend from him in order to not lose any time on the racetrack. Verstappen over to the right hand side, let's try and get away from him. He goes off into the last corner, and we have to get under the pit limit just in time there, narrowly avoiding that 5-second penalty we get for speeding, which we've done a good job at avoiding so far this season. We've done a good job in that respect. Into the pit lane now, optimal turn in, looking to get a good stop out the Alpine boys. Now last season our Williams boys actually managed to do a job for us. They probably came in clutch towards the end of the race, managed to get us out in front of one of the McLarens, if my memory serves me right. But a good stop from them, 2.4 seconds on the clock here, so let's see when we come out on the exit and try and get in front of our teammate Esteban Ocon if we can. There is Ocon on the right hand side as it goes towards turn number 2 here, around the outside of our French teammate, and then we're getting the jump on him, and we stay in P8 for the time being, and crucially in front of Ocon, so we haven't lost too much there. And then going on to the start lap number 20 now, Verstappen in the pit lane, we jump up in front of him too, so we've managed to jump Verstappen in the pit stops, which was always the plan, and we've managed to pull it off here. So we'll continue chasing those cars in front, but Norris 10 seconds up the road here. I believe some of those guys do the extra pit in terms of their tyres, but they're still on them going to lap number 28 here. We're reaching the end of the Grand Prix now. We've driven by ourselves for a good period of time now, but Lewis Hamilton is our next focus. He's managed to get around Verstappen. Now he started on the soft tyres, and he's making them work. His contract number 32, he's pulling within range of us very quickly. It's a very cold transition there through turn number 1, and Hamilton now a second behind us with a few more laps to go in this race. The DRS being deployed for him down this next straight. Have to be very careful not to try and let him squeeze through, but he's closing in all the time to make our way towards that right-hander. Let's do our best in order to keep him behind. That's a much stronger Mercedes compared to our Alpine. So have to see what we do. We've been consistently punching above our weight all season. We'll get another true test in battling a 7-time world champion. Hamilton to the inside, going into the next hairpin. Of course, we went over the grass bit there, so we lost a bit of grip, going way too wide. Hamilton could see opportunity in the exit. We get a better drive off, and then we'll have the edge around this DRS straight. But Hamilton will have the DRS open on his rear wings. Make our way down that next straight. Hamilton going to pull over to the right hand side if he gets the opportunity. There he goes, looking underneath. It's going to push him all the way to the right hand side of the track. Hamilton gets in front, going into the braking zone. I'm going to stick with him here. We've got over the curbs way too much there, but we've managed to pull off a perfect switch back there on the exit. No contact made. I'm going to move back up to P6 here. That'll be the highest I reckon we get in this Grand Prix, short for late retirement. 2 more laps to go. He's coming towards the final lap. Hamilton 1.2 seconds behind us, so I dare say we've got this one wrapped up, but it's not over yet. Let's be very careful if he comes back at us in the rest over the last lap. And speaking of last laps, here comes Charles Leclerc. The last corner's complete. Another victory here. He's done an absolutely superb job this season, and at the halfway stage is looking to try and retain his World Championship title. Leclerc wins in Canada. We've got last season's Canadian Grand Prix winner right behind us, trying to sneak a point away at the last possible moment, trying to hold on to P6. Hamilton closing in all the time here, coming towards this final corner, but he's not yet close enough in the braking zone to pull off a move. We get the last corner done, nailed nice and easy. Hamilton closing in, but it's not enough. We're going to run to the line here to claim P6, the end of a fantastic Canadian Grand Prix. The strategy paid off for us. Got us a few places. We'll come home with 6th place. Get in.
And here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé after a fantastic race. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I feel consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it
so
again.
The world champion Charles Leclerc wins once again here, taking victory in Canada with George Russell in 2nd place and Carlos Sainz in 3rd. So Russell splitting the 2 Ferraris. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's going to take something very special in the second half of this season for Red Bull, Mercedes and McLaren to have a chance of stopping them, because that team is on absolute fire at the moment. And I wouldn't be surprised if it continues into the second half of the season. But in terms of us, P6 there, good result. Looking to try and carry that on into the next race.
despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out there on track today, even by his high standards.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
So let's take a look at the final result in this Canadian Grand Prix. Leclerc wins the race, Russell second and Sainz in third. Lando Norris comes home fourth for McLaren, Perez fifth, we finish in sixth, Hamilton seventh, Verstappen eighth, Ricciardo ninth, and Yuki Tsunoda snatching the final point off of our teammate Esteban Ocon, whose poor season continues, at least in comparison to us. We've outscored him over this first half. Let's try and continue that into the second half of the season as well. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, 3 points separate the two Ferrari teammates. Sainz 3 clear of Leclerc, Norris still in third, and Russell up to 4th place, Perez down to 5th, Verstappen is still 6th, Hamilton's still 8th behind us, we remain in 7th. And in terms of the constructors, Ferrari continue to extend that lead, 79 points now to Red Bull, a full 100 to Mercedes, and we still sit in 5th place on 94. So it'll take a lot of work to try and catch those McLaren cars over the rest of the season with Norris behind the wheel. But in terms of the end of the video, guys, that is it for this one. I do hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been a very enjoyable Grand Prix indeed, and we're going to get our new contract here with Alpine, so that can carry on into the rest of the season. Looking forward to more brilliant races with them. If you did enjoy this one, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more future regular Formula One content. Until our next video, guys, I shall see you then. Have a good day and goodbye.